Well, they're showing a comp that would be mixing things up, and we just want to say, one more time, these two teams have faced each other +4, and it was an amazing 5-game set during the regular season that ended here on Oasis with Fusion University taking a last-minute victory, I believe 100-95 on the round 3 of their Game 5. So Gladiators Legion definitely wants some revenge here on Oasis, as water is going to be flying in the sky on this bear. We're seeing some DPS coming from Gladiators Legion in one take, though, and that's Taker's Wall. So is that going to be enough? They're going to be really good at separating Fusion University. They have to get the kills, and they are pushing Fusion University back.
Yeah, Alarm gonna swap onto the Ana. This is the live patch, so damage over time does a lot more now against those heroes. So Fusion University don't just want to go for the earliest fight they can take, but the best fight. However, that does mean that Gladiators Legion now can be playing very split up here. Water already 56% to that barrage, which will be a fight ender if Fusion University can't find an early hit.
We haven't even talked about Dalton on the 76 getting close to that attack by but Water so close to that barrage. Just a couple more direct hits and he will be there. And it's going to be so much harder for Fusion University to walk onto this point on University and compete with that rocket barrage in the sky. You're going to see it go down right now. 2 kills before taken down. Remember, you are stagnant in the sky when you use it, so that is some good value for them to watch.
Yeah, exactly. And the good news is Gladiators Legion still maintain control for the point. There is a flip, but he does go down, so no resurrection online possible, but Gladiators Legion still have that man advantage. They don't need to use any ultimates, just some good old vanilla cleanup.
Yeah, Fusion University looking a little lackadaisical on their approaches so far. They don't really know how to deal with Gladiators Legion current comp, and that's why you're seeing these transitions on these characters. Nice moving on to that Sombra. Alarm is now on that Moira. Is this the answer?
I hope so. I mean, Moira is very good against the Sombra, also less vulnerable to Pharah's raining down rockets from the air. Nice also trying to go toe-to-toe with Bishu Sombra, but because of these late swaps, Fusion University are probably going to be looking at a couple more dry pushes before they bank up enough ultimates to compete with Evie.
Yeah, only a couple over 50% right now, still closest to that rally. They're already taking so much damage because of the long distance damage that Gladiators Legion has with that 76 and at that Sarah. Trying to deal with it. Goes with the MP going from Bishu. 4 members of Fusion University are hacked, but the kills haven't quite got there. Gladiators Legion did invest in Transcendence to keep their team alive. It's going to end up working out for them. And the reason why that Transcendence was a good play there is no Zarya on the other side, so that just no Trans is one of those appropriate moments for it. Gladiators Legion take advantage of it, while Fusion University do get a free 60%. Gladiators Legion still looking good. They will be hitting overtime. That res is important, but Fusion University definitely not out of this yet.
Oh, and especially that when some hot dust is raining down on the heads of Fusion University. However, Toxic will be able to keep things interesting here with this Primal Rage. Gladiators Legion running only that single main tank, not going to have a ton of point presence here, and Panker's Ball will go down. So Fusion University again backs against the wall, trying to clean things up and flip this point for the very first time.
Yeah, Water having a hard time and dealing with the members on the ground, getting taken down by the end of the fight. Now it's time for Gladiators Legion to decide what kind of comp they want to run. Panker is switching over to that Reinhardt, so we can't expect some goats to come through. This is an appropriate time to switch because, when Fusion University switched, they were already down 50% on that percentage. Gladiators Legion did it right after that first fight lost, so they have the time to get those ultimates.
And Bishu still has this EMP, so even if but it's nice to pop it first.
And so 3 quick kills coming from Fusion University, thanks to nice EMP. That's some nice stuff, that is for sure. Gladiators Legion get wiped. Let's see what they're going to do on their next approach.
Alarm also going to swap onto the Ana. I would say a pretty good play right here. We've seen Ana's able to sleep Sombras as they come in here, and Alarm is certainly more than capable of taking Bishu out of the fight before he can use that EMP, which will be Gladiators Legion's win condition if they decide to commit ultimates in this next fight.
Remember, the EMP can cancel every single checkmark on CG side. You want to get the loot, giving down there, which come right after, which you see right away. Chong's sick, getting saved because of that sound barrier. You need to hit this support. Support's getting so good at hiding from those EMPs. What are you going to do? Nice, he's going to get his counterpart. The 65 for Fusion University with the Earthshatter. Going to knock a couple members on the ground. It's still not enough for Gladiators. We let Fusion University right back into this round after giving up a big lead.
Yeah, water got knocked into the hole in the middle of the floor right there, so it was essentially out of the fight for most of that brawl. So Fusion University having no troubles rebuffing Gladiators Legion, who now find themselves in the same position as Funi in that one and done territory. They don't have any ultimates to hope for, but they gotta just buy some time in order to get those online, because if they wait 10 more seconds, Nice is gonna take all of that ultimate away.
So this is one fight territory, 99-99 for both teams. Whoever wins this fight will win the round. The EMP is going to help Fusion University out, and with Panker out of this fight, they don't have that big shield to protect the rest of the team, so they're going to be susceptible to the Earthshatter. Chongqing does get to it, but he might not even need the Earthshatter University to win it this round outright after a really great comeback. They clean up these kills, though.
Exactly. Oh, Chongqing, he's chasing. Oh, it's like a scene from Game of Thrones. If anybody's watched that episode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But Fusion University, despite a slow early start, will take this early round on.
I feel like that's so classic, right? The second you start underestimating them or saying, oh, they're not going to have a chance. Gladiators Legion playing super well right now. They come right back and they take the round. That's Fusion University for you. So Gladiators Legion going to try to come back on this round. I like the team comp they were running at first. It just wasn't quite enough for them.
I mean, they took it to almost 99%, and the unfortunate thing was that Bishu couldn't get any value from his EMP. Legion had a way to re-engage on that point, but the EMP never really found the same dividends that Legion were hoping for, so Fusion University were just able to buy more and more time. First point capture is going to matter a lot again now as we open on Gardens. Chongqing and Panker both picking that Winston, which I believe is a really good hero here. You have such a good high ground advantage, not to mention that boot protect.
Both of them have good Winstons as well. Gladiators Legion winning that Winston battle for now. They're going to get a boop kill to start things off. So they're going to start off like the last round. Pretty strong. Gladiators Legion have a 65 point goal of W.
Yeah, it's a good ultimate advantage as well. Panker 45% up to that Primal Rage. So since Legion do capture this point first, it's all about that ring around the rosy. How many points can we just eke out of this objective before we are forced to flip it around? Alarm, though, has been fragging out of his mind, as we can see from that Transcendence card. Will be able to drag on this fight for a little bit longer if he decides to invest that ult.
It's not going to try to take the Winston out of this fight, but he's going to hop right back in. The utility tech has been used for Gladiators Legion, so Fusion University will have to worry about that first healing for another couple of seconds. That really back on the side of the stage, but does go through Alarm force to use that Transcendence, but Dalton is pretty far away from that grab from there for the current moment. It's not terrible for them, but what is a little bit more terrible is Nice going down early on in this fight. The 65 is Kate going to use that Primal Rage to cause some disruption to University.
Really unlucky. Alarm's Transcendence nearly bought Nice the time to get that grab, but he goes down at the hands of Lude. Again, a fragging Lucio that we haven't really had a chance to highlight throughout the season, but has really been showing up for the Gladiators Legion team so far. And now Legion will have not only their Transcendence on hand, but a potential free grab from Dalton.
Yeah, the Sound Vader needs to be very, very nice for Fusion University, along with the damage mitigation from Willow after this grab does go. They have to wait for these looking from the grab. It's going to help Gladiators with the Fusion University. Grab does go. Your Transcendence is there. Two counts for the grab is from Fusion University. This time around, there is some displacement, but no kills. Self-destruct now from Gladiators Legion. He's going to get one on his belt. One kill from that self-destruct. Now they have a 65 once again, and they're approaching that one-fight territory. If they're able to drag this on for another 5%, they will win this round.
Chongqing now trying desperately to get out of this tiny room, but no, the only way back out is to respawn. Karkar desperately trying to start overtime. He manages to escape with his life, but Gladiators Legion in complete control, and only 3 seconds left for Fusion University to even touch this point.
They do touch the point, but now they're going to have 65 Gladiators Legion is over. Fusion University, everything imaginable to try to get back onto the deck. We'll have a 100-0 round going the way of Gladiators Legion, and we're getting closer and closer to that as Panker and those Primal Rages doing work.
Indeed, Hanker with an excellent primal rage right there, just gatekeeping the trancing alarm, and nice for even sniffing the point. Unfortunately, the same couldn't be said for Chongsik's earlier primal rage. We watched him in that mega room juggling a high charge Zarya, but as a primaling Winston, you can never expect that you're going to be able to take down a Zarya by yourself. And in the meantime, while he was otherwise occupied, Bijou was cleaning up the rest of his team on the objective. Fusion University really needed their tank's presence on the point, and unfortunately, he was nowhere to be found. So now, this will be the decider as to who takes an early lead in the North American East Finals. Going to be some more, ring around the rosy ball games for Panker here. Fusion University going for a little bit more of a conventional look.
And so Water gonna keep going on with this. Sarah did look good in the first round until it moved, right? And so they had to switch in the middle of the round, and Fusion University were able to overcome them. They did win the last round. Let's see what round 3 is gonna bring us. This particular map where you really want that first point take, because it's so hard to flip this. You see a lot of 99-0 going to 99-99 on this map. Part of me feels like we're going to see that here right now, as Water still trying to get those rockets into the bodies of Fusion University. The ult charge is not going as quickly as the last time we saw him on this era, but Gladiators did get a better point presence with that Wrecking Ball and are able to put this burst for Fusion University at a huge disadvantage, because they have to come into Gladiators Legion on this really tough point to flip.
The Fusion University, they allowed that point capture to happen for Gladiators Legion because Chongsik was hacked by Bijou. Fusion University were forced into this small hallway. They couldn't put their bodies on the point without taking massive amounts of damage. And unfortunately, Water, RIP, columns, man. So, doesn't quite matter though, because Nude does have that res at the ready, and more importantly, Gladiators Legion have control of this point, so they can just continue to roll around until Water gets back with them.
Yeah, Water did not get res. EMP goes through 5 members of Fusion University are hacked. Dalton's trying to get behind those openings, so he's going to find Spawn. EMP not doing it much, and now we're going to see Water use that rocket barrage. This tells me they might be thinking about changing their characters, because that barrage, really just kind of leaving him as a sitting duck into the air, but he is able to find value. He's going to be alive, and so he's going to go up with that rocket barrage. No changing just yet. The hack, though, is going to make it a little bit harder, but at least Water is still going to be on the high ground, trying to raise those rockets from above. Proximity mine's now out. They're going to go ahead and utilize that res, so also they're confirmed now for Fusion University before we're able to flip the point.
Fusion University, despite taking an early loss, playing a very disciplined game, not losing their cool, most importantly, cutting Lude out of the fight very early on, essentially nullifies Afara's effectiveness, because they call it Pharmacy for a reason. They're working best when they're together. Without that Mercy around, Pharah can't really reign free in the skies as she would want to. So Fusion University now force Legion onto their own go-to composition. It's going to be a couple of pretty bloody fights before Legion can expend Fusion University's entire ultimate bank.
Yeah, if Fusion University use their ultimates correctly, they could have what they need to rest the round. Now you're going to start the EMP into the Coalescence combo we don't see very often, but it's very effective getting kills now. The alarm onto the player. You're going to have to try one more time, but they're running out of time.
Exactly. This is the scary thing. Anytime you're forced to change your composition in the middle of a control round, because whereas, Hybrid, Assault are very long maps, in Control you only have at maximum 100 seconds in order to win it out. Fusion University showing very good ultimate discipline, using just 2 of those ultimates in order to win that fight, and Alarm is actually going to swap back onto the Zen for better utility here. Rolf, of course, can shut down the Transcendence with that anti-nade, but in order to do so, Legion need a good engagement, and so far Fusion University have been able to preempt their approach.
They are going to enter the objective for that good engagement, like Fusion University waiting for it. Let Gladiators be on point, let them take the first reactivate, as the rally is going to go. We're going to be able to utilize the damage mitigation. Nerd Shatter coming as well, but only one member of the team is stunned, and the hack on Fusion is going to make it a little bit harder against Gladiators. And then more hacking coming across from it. Nice. A lot of computer science classes going on.
Exactly, and with all of that knowledge, overtime will burn down and Fusion University secure their first win here on Oasis.
And Fusion University very, very good on control. I believe only losing control to Mayhem Academy in the regular season. So if Gladiators Legion really want to give themselves an advantage here, taking that map type would have been a boon to their chances of reaching the final. But currently we have Fusion University up 1-0 against Gladiators Legion. That was pretty close there, all 3 rounds, and it was back and forth. But in the end, Fusion Uni do take that win off of some good ultimate economy usage.
Exactly, and that's key here because while Fusion University were not the first ones to cap the point in both rounds of Oasis, once they had control, they never let go. They were like pit bulls, right? Gladiators Legion didn't look like they really had a clear way to try and get onto the point. They were always waiting to react to what Fusion University threw their way, which has been kind of their play style throughout the season. But unfortunately, against a team as coordinated as Funi, it's not going to cut it.
And so remember, friends and family at home, the map choice is from the losing team on the last map. And so this one is going to go Gladiator Legion way, and it's going to be our hybrid map. Gladiators Legion really want to try to get on at the board because if you go down 2-0, that's a deficit that can really get to your head. And Fusion University, though, they do love their game 5s. And so let's see if history will repeat itself in that way as well.
Yeah, this is scary though for Funi because they do struggle on linear maps, hybrid and escort. So this could be a place where Gladiators Legion, just pull out something crazy. They could run the Pharah, they could run the Hammond once again, especially if we go to a map like Kings Row, which lends itself to that kind of play style. Fusion University, to their credit, they've also been, kind of changing things up. We know that Nice has an extremely capable Sombra. Just feels like Funi hasn't really had to use that Sombra so far because their goats have carried them, throughout the season. We will be heading over to Kings Row, stomping ground of, fried fish. Oh, goats. I was going to say fog, other, British London-y things.
And so Fusion University, again, coming in here up 1-0 onto Kings Road. This is the Gladiators Legion map choice. And because it's their choice, they have to expect to perform here, and if they don't, it will not be good for them. And now Fusion University on, I think, gonna be the defensive side most likely to start things out. We will be seeing goats, but one thing I'm interested to see is if we're gonna see Beast Halo.
That's the question. Beast Halo had been playing all 4 games in the last couple of weeks of the regular season, but ever since playoffs, Fusion University have been running Changsik in that main tank role, and we won't see Beast Halo gracing our screens this time around. Beast Halo is, known for at times sloppier play, but much more aggressive and I would say, confident Rhine plays. Changsik tends to be more measured, very defensive, as a lot of our Korean tanks are.
His aggression's a little bit more measured, like you said, but we do have Changsiko mode occasionally, and he can get into that backline. He can be that aggressive Reinhardt, but he needs to feel confident about it, and I can even see him throwing throughout this last 3 days that he is becoming more confident and becoming a little bit more aggressive, because I think that's the play style here in Contenders that has found itself to be the most successful when it comes to these GOATS matchups. And we are going to see that mirror matchup coming from both sides. Gladiators Legion going to be starting off on the attack. They're going to be ringing around the rosy on this Mondeath statue. And the thing here, though, is that Gladiators Legion already having to utilize some cooldowns just coming into the objective. And so they're going to have to wait for those to come back up before they do round that corner and attack on the objective. And we will find Fusion University probably ceding some space, looping back around and waiting for their cooldowns before we have that true engage. Or Lude will just get a pick there and make this a 65 for Gladiators Legion. And this is going to be an easy point A take. We were hyping up a bunch of, flanks and rotations, but really sometimes all you need is a pick.
Yeah, and sometimes that pick comes from your backline. Lude really been lighting up the kill feed so far in these finals. And unfortunately, the same can't be said for the backline of Fusion University. We talk often about how good Alarm is. He's only 17 years old. People say that he is, the strongest Zenyatta, at least the most consistent Zenyatta in all of North America. But rather, it's been the Legion backline that have been showing up, putting in those extra little bits of damage to confirm the kills and give their team clean fights.
Ooh, and Rolf's going to get that kill again, and I kind of want to back up what you said, because yesterday against Mayhem Academy, that's exactly the same thing happened. Rolf and Lude were so good, and we were talking about those Bishi bombs earlier. A lot of those bombs wouldn't have happened without Lude on that Lucio getting those boops, and so they really have just been meshing better in the last 3 days than they have all season, and that's terrifying for the teams that they're going against.
Exactly, and you know, because you're looking generally out for those threats in the front line. Zarya is a big damage dealer. You're always going to be watching out for where the Rhine is positioned, but you can't often account for where the Zen and Lucio are. And Fusion University are staring down the barrel of a very scary gun. 4.5 minutes left, and they're already a defending point lead.
If you're going to hold on streets at the very beginning or the very end, so you're at the very end of this phase, Fusion University have a graviton surge of their own. Will it be enough? Probably not, because Tanker and Bijou are both going to get killed. It's 64 right now. Fusion University need to back up. Bernard just kind of putting himself into the backline so he can go ahead and go back to spawn, but he's also going to be feeding a ton of ultimate charge into Gladiators Legion right after they did just use them. Good news, though, is that Fusion University have a couple ultimates, but nice to 4% on that grab.
Yeah, he threw that grab so early on, roll throughout the Transcendence. It's no loss at all because Gladiators Legion have all the time in the world, and Water's just going to use that third person to peek around the corner, see where Fusion University are coming. It's no real secret. Chonks is quite loud, and now in the ground.
In the ground indeed. Fusion University already down a few members. Gladiators Legion have not taken their foot off of their neck so far. The momentum has been strictly on the Legion side. Fusion University having a really hard time doing anything right now on the defense.
They haven't found a single hold so far, and Gladiators Legion are looking to finish this map with over 4.5 minutes left. This is crazy. Dalton's going to have a grab here. Alarm is just barely over 50% to that trans.
And still already down to half health. Having used the rally to bring it themselves into the payload. Fusion University also going to be leading the rally on the other side. Self-destruct not going to find anything now. Soundmaker is going through. Graviton surge now from Gladiators Legion. Will this be enough for Gladiators Legion to finish off this map? Alarm using that Transcendence very late. That's actually going to give them some really nice tempo. And the grab's coming from Fusion University very, very soon. But there is a trance coming from Rolf as well. The Earth Shatter could be it, and it might be as nice. Was able to get that Graviton surge out before going back to spawn. But Dalton getting that kill means the Gladiators Legion are set up to potentially grab this point in record time. Over 4 minutes left. The Gladiators Legion are cleaning up those kills.
This is insane, Boop. Legion never even had to go for that hard reset there. Drawing ultimate after ultimate out of Fusion University while just waiting for that perfect moment, right? Bijou bombs right on the side of Fusion University. Chongsik has to use it to block, but because of that, that allows for Panker's Earth Shatter to come through. Nice gets laid down on his back. Bijou's ready with the boost. He remixed in, bursts Nice down, and once you lose your Zarya, right, what's the statistic? Like 7% win rate once you lose all of that damage. So, Gladiators Legion, man alive, I would certainly be, you know, sweating just a little bit if I was Fusion University.
Beads running down their faces. Fusion University now are looking at a 4-minute and 5-second time bank for Gladiators Legion, so that's going to force their hand. They're going to have to do, or they're going to try and attempt to do exactly what Gladiators Legion did against them, because anytime Gladiators Legion stops them, we did just see Gladiators Legion walk through every single point, not losing a single fight throughout their entire push. So if Fusion University do lose a fight, that's all time that's going to be taken away from their time bank, and they will be ending lower than Gladiators Legion if they finish the match.
This is the hard thing for Fusion University now. They're essentially fighting against the 7th invisible player, the time bank. Even if they win things out, even if they finish the map in overtime, the best that they can hope for would be a draw. So they're going to be hoping that they can finish with at least a minute left. Gladiators Legion, though, have to be buoyed, feeling very confident after such a successful push. However, though, as we've seen all throughout Contenders, defenses have been few and far between. So it's always possible that Fusion University could simply plow through with all of that aggression and match Gladiators Legion.
We saw some good defense in that last match, actually. Let's see if we're going to see that transfer over in this one. Gladiators Legion want to be the ones that put up this defense. They want to stop Fusion University in their tracks.
Exactly. Gladiators Legion right now just dancing around Mondada's statue of poor Omnic, who probably hadn't predicted that his, memorabilia would be a site of such violence on King's Row. But Nonetheless, Gladiators Legion still strong for now. Dalton's self-bubble already burned, so he has to back off.
And Chonky trying to move forward, assert himself just a little bit. The barrier was already used, both the ally and self-barrier for Fusion University, and they are going to get that first pick, and this is exactly what Fusion University need. They have it 6v4, they got to lock this down because they don't have a lot of time to spare. They're doing exactly what they need to do in this situation.
Playing Ring Around the Rosie, dancing, using that telephone booth, jockeying for position. Gladiators Legion's tanks were all brought so incredibly low that they really had nowhere left to hide. Somebody was going to fall. Nice saving that self-bubble, expecting that Bishu was going to dive on top of him and using it just to get more energy, not falling victim to that burst. So Gladiators Legion now looking to defend, hopefully at this archway. It's certainly one of the more it's one of the easier places to hold on this Kings Row map, but with Nice coming into that grab, could be a hard hold.
And so we are going to see this defense up close. Gladiators Legion trying to force Fusion University off the payload. Right now they are just jostling position, getting to those ultimates. Nice will have to grab very, very soon, so you can see them getting aggressive. Earth Shatter trying to go through. It's going to be a little bit better for Gladiators Legion. 4 on the ground. Self-destruct comes up, but it's not enough. Gladiators Legion unable to confirm any kills after that beautiful Earth Shatter coming from Anchor. Now the grab from Fusion University can be very bad news for Gladiators Legion, but it is not. They actually decide that it's opposite day. Gladiators Legion are going to get 2 kills, even falling victim to that grab, with Bernard getting team-neck. We might see some spawn camp shenanigans.
Oh, that Fire Strike is ripping through the grab. All of Fusion University caught there. Now Gladiators Legion can absolutely spawn camp Fusion University here. It's a very safe place to hold up on the stairs. We've seen many a team do this. Gladiators Legion themselves, actually. So Fusion University probably going to have to expend an ultimate to get out of this chokehold.
A nice Fire Strike, make them think twice about where they're going to come out, and they might have to invest some ultimates here. They are going to invest that self-destruct because Bernard almost got D-Necked anyway, but he is going to go down, and he is going to pick off the Lucio. That seems to be a pattern right now. 3 kills for Gladiators Legion, just 2 for Fusion University, and now we're going to see the Graviton Surge for Fusion University as well, getting thrown out right before Dice goes 10 feet behind him.
Exactly. I mean, Fusion University, they lost that fight, but at least they drew the Transcendence out from Rolf, and so now the ultimate economy has largely been evened up once again. Legion beating a hasty retreat here. They don't want to allow for any staggers to go through. No more free progress for this payload. Fusion University actually looking pretty well buoyed. While they won't have that grab, Shatter will be online, and more importantly, both of those defensive ults.
The Gladiators Legion in the nick of time to get the important ultimates. They had that self-destruct Graviton Surge combo at the ready. Is it going to make it worthwhile to use it right now? That they're going to go ahead and attempt it as Dalton threw out that grab, and Rolf's going to get that first kill. So this is Gladiators Legion stabilizing here, but it's so hard to stabilize when you're on the ground. 5-man Shatter coming from Chong Sik. Fusion University winning that out in the end.
Wolf again with first blood in that fight, but unfortunately the rest of his team falling victim to Chongsik's Shatter. And now Gladiators Legion, well spent, running on fumes, no real ultimates to speak of, but Chongsik's, rather Panker's Earth Shatter. Fusion University looking to barrel through into point B. They're going to have the grab once again, and while Alarm did throw out that trance, Karkar will have this sound barrier, so Fusion University should be looking to win this fight.
And Alarm trying to pepper in some damage from the back line, using that Discord Orb to make sure that Gladiators Legion have to really think about who's going to be in the front line as Earth Shatter comes through. Nice, unable to use that self-barrier, but still going to have his back and get that pick for Fusion University. There's still 2 minutes left. Fusion University definitely slower right now, but they're making their way through Kings Row. Graviton Surge now coming from Nice. He seems to be developing that very, very quickly, quicker than usual for Fusion University, and that's definitely helping their chances here.
It's not just fast ultimate generation, but key timing as well. We saw Rolf forced to use that Transcendence to keep Gladiators Legion's defense alive. Nice, extremely patient, expecting for that trance to be drawn, and only when that healing dies down does he throw out the grab. So Fusion University showing more of that excellent ultimate discipline that won them that Oasis round.
And so they're down to 2 minutes and 7 seconds to finish off this and that. That's just goes to show how impressive Gladiators Legion were on their offense. And Anchor going to get moved into the rest of Fusion University. Good heads-up play from Karkar there. That's going to make it a 65, and that means this payload is going to move forward and closer to the final point.
Gladiators Legion right now are just looking to bank up ultimates. They are very close to some, but there's no prize for most improved. They need to have that trance, that grab online to rebuff Fusion University, who are now looking extremely comfortable heading into this third point.
This is going to be it potentially for Gladiators Legion. They need to win this fight and finish off Fusion University, because if they do, they're actually going to set themselves up for a nice hold. They're going to get another clutch kill. Bijou trying to do the same thing he was doing, and Hanamura does exactly that. Those bombs are sick.
Such a crucial little piece of diva tech. If you lay your bomb on the very edge of the ledge, you can nudge it off with your baby diva body, but finding that timing, knowing exactly how far your nudges will push that bomb is so difficult to find. This really just goes to show how high caliber a diva Bijou really is. However, Fusion University still have at least 2 more good pushes online. Lude's Sound Barrier has to find some mad value.
And so this Earth Shatter, looking at the bargain bin, going to TJ Maxx, finding that value. Gladiators Legion have a Sound Barrier at the disposal. Pinker will have an Earth Shatter soon enough. There's only a minute and 25 seconds. Gladiators Legion are totally cool. Fusion University waiting to get onto the payload. That means less time for them going into the next round if they are able to complete King's Row. Still using the rally, deciding that now is the time to do this. Parkar going to get isolated and almost gets picked off. He is going to find a health pack, but Snillo not going to be as lucky. Now it's going to be Trace, and Trace are going to be much better for the defensive side as Parkar barely gets that sound barrier off before getting shattered himself. And now Transcendence is going both ways. He's going to go down potentially to the self-destruct Graviton Surge combo that's coming out right now. Earth Shatter goes through. Bijou going to get another 2 kills here. Gladiators Legion have a guy that they can depend on. That man is named Bijou.
Toxic, the last member left of Fusion University, and it's looking more and more dire. They committed everything into that last fight. They were not expecting Bijou to get that 2K bomb, and now Gladiators Legion have again held on their defense with only 30 seconds left. Fusion University are looking for a miracle here. Of course, a boop is always possible from Karkar, but it's more often been Lude finding those crucial picks.
Fusion University have absolutely nothing. Oh my goodness, is Bijou going to get Bernard, who used the jetpack to get onto the high ground, didn't have it available, so he fell down. Fusion University are going to lose out because Bijou got a boop on another diva. You don't see that every day. Gladiators Legion are going to tie this up 1-1.
I cannot even boot I'm catching flies right now. Bernard, I mean, this is, again, Bernard of the Bernard Bombs, one of the most, stable and consistent members of Fusion University, getting taken for a ride. What a gravity tragedy. He goes up on the high ground. Hey, how many times have we seen divas just float onto the ledge, just taking a look around? What do we have here on the playing field today? Goats, not, exactly as I expected. But Bijou finds that opportunity. He's like, you know what? I wonder if I can get a boop off here. And he did. He got it. Sometimes you just have to go for those plays, and maybe 8 times out of 10 it's not going to come up with anything, but in those 2 instances you're going to be a hero.
Bijou is playing so well, but when your diva's doing well, that means the rest of your team is also doing the enabling necessary to keep your team in this. And Gladiators Legion came back after losing control in a tough 3-round loss for them, and they're going to tie it up 1-1. And this final's already looking to be a barn burner. We have reached halftime, and this is a 1-4, so both teams 3 games away. Let's see who's going to get there first after the break.